Channel 6, brought to you by Jamie Casino Injury Attorneys.
Good morning. It's going to be a hot Viper 6 alert weekend. I'll have all the details on what you can expect coming up.
Now on Good Morning Augusta, lightning sets the church on fire in Barnwell, how the community is coming together. Plus, a South Carolina woman with close connection to the devastating wildfires in Maui, her daughter's experience on a fire-stricken island. And later, how a unique summer camp is meeting special needs with a whole lot of heart. Details as your number one source for local weekend morning news starts right now.
Live from Television Park, this is Good Morning Augusta on WJBF News Channel 6.
Yes, it is. Good morning, sunshine. Thanks for joining us. It's great to see you. I'm Sean Cabbage-Stock. Well, it's a Viper 6 alert day. Meteorologist Sherry Sheely joins us for a quick check of the forecast. Good morning, Sherry.
Good morning, Sean, and good morning to you. So, yes, it is a Viper 6 alert weekend, but the good news, not necessarily for severe weather as far as thunderstorms and all that, but for the heat. So, we're looking at a very hot one. But right now, beautiful sunrise thanks to our friends at Terry Lambert Hyundai. We've got on our Skyview cam over the Augusta Marriott. It looks like a beautiful start to what will be a hot day. So, looking at our satellite and radar, we've got the all clear on the upper levels. We do have some ridging that's bringing in that warm air from the west. But the good news is looking pretty clear for us. But we do have some patchy fog in some low-lying areas thanks to all the moisture of yesterday. So we've got much improvements here in Augusta up to 10 miles. But Aiken still limited at 5 miles. Barnwell 4, Allendale, Sylvania, Swainsboro. So keep that in mind as you head out this morning. You might need to add a little extra time to your commute to allow for that fog and limited visibility. But temperature-wise, already warming on up. So 70 here in Augusta, 74 in Waynesboro, 72 in Sparta, and 73 in Barnwell, and we're only going up from here. So we do have a heat advisory in effect from Wilkes County all the way down to Emmanuel County. All those in Peach here, that is in effect from 10 a.m. till 8 p.m. today. Then for your Sunday, we are under an excessive heat watch, same time period, same counties, but for Sunday for even more dangerous heat up to 112 degrees. So that heat and humidity, so the air temp is warm enough in those upper 90s, but when you factor in the humidity, looking at up to 112, 114 even. So that's why we have those Viper 6 alert days for your weekend. So again, we'll go over the details of what you can expect there and these hot temperatures and maybe some storms late in the afternoon. But I'll have all the details for you coming up in your full forecast. Back to you, Sean.
All right, Sherry, sounds good. Thank you. Well, coverage you can count on continues with the Barnwell community picking up the pieces this morning. The Barnwell County Sheriff's Office will hold their annual law enforcement expo today. It's from 10 till 2 over at the Barnwell Regional Airport. That's on Airport Road. You can bring your family to interact with all kinds of law enforcement and their gadgets too. And there will also be food vendors. There's an increased risk of heat-related illness in older people. Camille Wolf from Homestead joins me on the red couch to offer tips for older adults and their families so they can stay safe on this Viper 6 alert day. Hey Camille, I see you. See you in a bit.
Black Channel 6.
Hey there, welcome back. As temperatures rise across the U.S. over the next few weeks, extreme heat can be very dangerous for older loved ones and neighbors. So joining me today with some tips for older adults during the dangerous heat wave is Camille Wolf. She's a client care coordinator for Homestead. Camille, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me this morning.
No problem. I'm staying cool.
Yes, thankfully we live in a world where we have air conditioning.
Yeah, there
yes.
we go. I like it. So you have some tips for caring for our older folks.
Yes. So main thing is just to be checking in on them regularly, making sure that they have the things that they need, that their air conditioning is working, that they have proper hydration, the water that they need, the foods that are high in water, such as melons, tomatoes, grapes, all of those things to make sure they're keeping properly hydrated.
Yeah, for some of these older folks, do you think it's a challenge for them to kind of stay on top of that?
It is. We see people in our lives, our seniors, that are friends and family that struggle with physical challenges that may not allow them to go to the grocery store or do shopping to keep up with having the water and foods that they need. They may not be able to go to the grocery store to get the sunscreen to wear when they go outside, or really have the ability to recognize that maybe they're struggling with heat and need some assistance.
Well, I hate to say it like this, but sometimes our older folks can be a little stubborn.
Yes, they
So
can.
how can we let them know we love them, but this is what needs to be done without saying you need to do this?
Yes.
Yeah.
So just making sure that we're coming from a place of true caring and love and wanting to support them, because they're going to recognize that. And as long as we're on top of that and showing them that it's coming from a genuine place, they'll be more receptive to it.
Yeah. Do you have any warning signs for some of those heat-related illnesses?
Absolutely. So if your senior loved one or friend is seeming just a little bit more disoriented, maybe more confused, telling you that maybe they're struggling with just feeling thirsty all the time, or noticing that they might have a rash or some other skin irritation that's going on, those would be some of the things to really pay attention to and make sure that they're getting the proper attention to.
When it comes to the sun, should they limit certain times of day when they're outside?
Yeah, definitely. So the highest peak of the sun that we're going to look at is going to be from about 10 o'clock in the morning to about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So you want to try to avoid as much exposure to the sun during those times as possible.
And what about protective clothing, stuff like that?
Yeah, so you want to wear something that's going to be lightweight, loose fitting, light colored, because that's going to really help make sure that you're blocking yourself from those sun rays.
Let's talk about medications and stuff like that. What should we do with those?
So you want to make sure that they're being stored safely. Some medications, most medications shouldn't be stored in high heats. Also, you want to be very careful because not all medications are safe with sun exposure. So you want to make sure that you're consulting your doctor to make sure that any medication that you're on, you should take extra precaution more than ordinary with sun-related stuff.
Sounds good to me. What other tips do you have for us?
Just making sure that we're really checking in as often as possible with our senior loved ones and friends.
Should it be something once a day, twice a week? Do you have a timeline that we should?
Not really. I think particularly when we're in this type of situation with the heat wave, probably good to check in as frequently as possible.
Yeah.
As you said, sometimes seniors aren't necessarily going to be as receptive. They're going to feel like you might be overstepping if you do several times or more than what they feel comfortable with. So
Well, I know some folks like my mom would probably be happy that I'm calling her.
yeah, and some of them are very much so going to appreciate that and want you to call as often as possible.
So are you guys on social media or anything like
We
that?
are. So we're on social media. We have a Facebook page. Definitely feel free to reach out to our website as well. So yes, we're definitely on social media.
Well, thank you for joining me.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you
No
very much.
problem. And we'll be right back.
The headlines on News Channel 6, brought to you by Jamie Casino Injury Attorneys.
Stop, stop, stop. Where it feels like home. Grovetown, North Augusta, or online.
This is a WJBF Live Viper 6 alert.
So good morning, and yes, it is a live Viper 6 alert weekend due to dangerous heat indices and just hot air temperatures as well. But right now, starting off, it is a beautiful morning. Look at that sunrise over at Doctor's Hospital. Thanks to our friends at Terry Lambert Hyundai for our Skyview cam. We've got a nice shot there to start off the morning. Starting off at 70 degrees, so not too bad, but it is pretty sticky out there. And right now here in Augusta, we don't have any issues with visibility. Had some patchy fog a little earlier today, but that is already starting to burn off here. But that is not the case all across the board. So still in Aiken County, Barnwell, Allendale, Sylvania, Swainsboro, and Thompson, and probably some areas in between, still dealing with some issues there with visibility. So keep that in mind as you head out this morning. You may need a little extra time in your commute and just be a little extra cautious so you can get to your destination safely. And the upper levels of the atmosphere, they're looking good, all clear in our neck of the woods thanks to some ridging, and we've got high pressure in the Gulf. But with that, that's bringing us some moist air and also some warm temperatures. So looking across the board, you can see those hot temperatures to our west in the 80s there in Texas and Arkansas alike. That is the air that's going to be moving our way, warming us up for a hot, hot weekend. But yesterday that was not the case, so only hit a high temperature of 87 degrees, so well below average there for us, and picked up over a quarter inch of rain here in Augusta. So most of us looking good there for our farmers forecast. No drought conditions, except for this little itty bitty sliver here in northern Saluda County at that first level of drought. So definitely need some rain in that neck of the woods. But today it's not looking like a good chance. But for the year, we're at a surplus over 41 inches of rain. So the main topic today for that 5 for 6 alert day is for the heat. So we are under a heat advisory from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. tonight in the counties here in Peach. That's from Wilkes County all the way down to Emmanuel County, kind of our western border. But keep in mind, even if you're not included in that colored area, it is still going to be hot for us, and that area might even be extended as we move throughout the weekend. So we talk about it's not the heat, it's the humidity. So what does that mean for us? So when you have low humidity, you know, you're hot, you sweat. But when the air is less humid, that sweat evaporates and you feel cooler. But when we have these high humidity values, there's a high water vapor content in the air. So when we sweat, it's not evaporating, it stays on our skin, which makes us feel sticky and muggy and just really uncomfortable. So that's why it feels warmer than the air temps, because our sweat's not evaporating, it's sticking with us. So what's some tips to keep us safe in this hot heat? Well, obviously the best place to be is indoors with the AC, fan blowing on you, keeping it cool. But if you can't do that, definitely want to stay hydrated, avoid drinking alcohol and sugary beverages. And of course, we want to check on our vulnerable populations, check care of your neighbors, the elderly, children, and definitely make sure you're not leaving anybody in the back of those cars. This is getting very hot out there. And if you do have to go outside, wear lightweight clothing, light colored clothing, and try to get there in the early morning or the later afternoon, where it's the cooler part of the day, which is going to be hard to find today. So if you're going to be by the pool, that's a good place to plan to be, as it's going to be a toasty one. So making it up to 96 degrees. And again, that's your air temp for today. So nice and toasty there. And when you factor in the humidity, going to feel even warmer. But the good news is it's going to stay mostly dry for us. Looking at that futurecast, clouds here and there for us. So we'll welcome those clouds to give us a little break from direct sunlight. But moisture is going to stay out of the way. We do have a chance of maybe some afternoon showers popping up right outside of our viewing area, but for the most part, I think we're going to stay dry today. So for your weekend, the main issue is just the heat, 96 degrees for your Saturday, and Sunday even warmer, up to 98. And the bad news is it's not any relief in sight, as we're going to stay well above average for the next several days. And check it out, overnight lows even above average, so only getting down into those mid 70s, so not any relief in the overnight hours as well. So again, 5 for 6 alert days for your Saturday and Sunday due to these hot days with high humidity values. And we can't rule out the chance of an afternoon shower or storm, but I think for the most part today we're going to stay dry and just nice and toasty.
I think I'm going to take your advice and stay inside.
Stay inside, that's the best place to be.
Absolutely, Sherry, thank you. Well, it's an interesting trend with summer. What's trending is next.
Davis on Deansbridge is your one-stop shop for everything home. Update your bedroom suite or mattress set today. We offer no credit needed financing and delivery options to meet your needs. For the top brands at the lowest prices, visit us at Davis Appliance and Furniture.
When you're a supply.
At Davis Appliance and Furniture, we have the best deals in town. It's the perfect time to update your living space with a new sectional or get that big TV you've always wanted. We offer no credit needed financing and delivery options to meet your needs. For the top brands at the lowest prices, visit Davis Appliance and Furniture.
Hey y'all, time to take a look at what's trending. So a growing trend shows that Michael Scott may have been onto something when he accidentally wore a woman's suit.
Who makes it?
Mysterious. And it is mysterious because the buttons are on the wrong side. That's the mystery.
It's got shoulder pads. Did you see that line?
Okay.
Did you see
Would you stop it, please?
Oh, none of that tipped you off.
It's European, okay? It's a European cut.
Michael, the pants don't have any pockets.
No, they don't. See? Italians don't wear pockets.
Oh, that's great. Although Chanel doesn't make menswear, more men are wearing it as a status symbol. Pharrell Williams started the trend with his collection Chanel Pharrell, and also a South Korean actor did the same thing, and also a singer was spotted wearing a woman's jacket. Fashion experts say it's all about standing out, and the fact that Chanel doesn't make menswear or market to men contributes to its uniqueness. I have to pass on that one, Sherry.
Yeah, I can't think of anything to say. Come back to that.
Yeah.
Next.
Next. Well, Cardi B was all over the news after she threw her microphone at a fan during a concert in Las Vegas. And that was after someone in the crowd threw a drink at her. Sky Fisher owns the audio company that worked the show. He decided to list the microphone on eBay. He threw it up there for $500 and he was shocked about what happened. Bidding took off and the microphone sold for just under $100,000.
Whoa.
He says he thinks it's crazy for what it sold for, but he added that he hasn't been contacted by the winner yet, and he's skeptical that they will actually pay up.
I'm kind of surprised that the audio company even got the microphone back. You'd think the crowd would have snatched it up and they would have tried to sell it on eBay. So.
Yeah. I wonder if I take my microphone off and throw it. How much money we can get?
You better keep playing the lottery.
Yeah. You get in trouble with Matt and the rest of the kids in engineering. Well, hidden fees at restaurants continue to be a big topic of discussion. So a man traveling to Italy shared a story. He says he was slapped with €2 surcharge because the restaurant cut his sandwich in half. According to the New York Post, the man decided to pay the fee but then posted about it on TripAdvisor. He said he ordered the sandwich to split with a friend, but he never even asked them to cut it in half, yet they charged him for it anyways. The restaurant told an Italian newspaper that it took time for them to cut the sandwich in half because it was French fries on the inside, and that was one of the reasons for the extra charge. Sherry, I go to Burger King and ask for my sandwich to be cut in half all the time. I'm glad they don't charge me.
They do it your way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, coming up on Good Morning Augusta, we have the latest on the devastating wildfires in Maui. That's coming up, but first, let's send it to Maui, where with Johnson and Gio Benitez are standing by for the look at what's coming up on Good Morning America. Good morning, fellas.
Good morning. Coming up here.
Get back out there with arch supports from the Good Feet store.
We love our customers. What can we do to celebrate them?
Fireworks?
Too dangerous. How about hot dogs and balloons?
Too tacky. What about a month-long customer appreciation sale?
Bingo.
Big savings for every room of your house. Special promotions in every category.
Tons of in-stock merchandise ready for immediate delivery.
Don't buy online. Visit our large showroom and let us show you how to get the best service and the best selection, all at unbeatable prices, all at Weinberger's Furniture.
I'm Sean Cabbage Stock. Hot, hot, hot. It's a Viper 6 alert weekend, and meteorologist Sherry Sheely joins us again with a quick check of the forecast.
That's right, Sean. It's going to be a toasty one this weekend as we're expecting dangerously hot temperatures. But right now this morning, looking good here in Aiken. So Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview Cam, we've got blue skies all across the board here in Aiken, and the sun is shining. So looking good for us to start off, but the heat is on the way. Looking at the satellite and radar, so we've got the all clear here, just some storms back to our west. We'll continue keeping an eye on those as they head this direction, but the main story is going to be the heat for us here at home for your weekend. So again, visibility looking much, much better here in Augusta, but in Aiken County, we do have limited visibility down to 5 miles, Barnwell, Allendale, Sylvania alike down to 5 miles, Swainsboro at 4, so keep in mind there may be some patchy fog, especially in low-lying areas as you head out first thing this morning. Temperature-wise, starting off at 70 here in Augusta, 73 in Edgefield and Aiken, and 73 in Sparta alike, and that will just continue to climb. So we do have a heat advisory in effect from Wilkes County down to Emmanuel County. That starts at 10 o'clock this morning and is in effect until 8 o'clock tonight for dangerous heat values. Heat indices will make it feel like more than 106, and then for your Sunday, same area, same time frame, just with an excessive heat watch for those areas. So for your weekend, we're looking at hot temperatures in the upper 90s. When you factor in that humidity, triple-digit heat. So definitely want to stay cool and stay hydrated on this Viper 6 alert weekend. I'll talk to you about the temperatures and maybe some late-day storms coming up in your full forecast. Back to you, Sean.
Sounds good, Sherry. Thank you. Now to the latest of the devastation. A recall you may want to know about before you light that next candle. We have those details next.
The live.
Target has recalled more than 2 million scented candles sold exclusively in its stores. They say it's because the glass jar candles may subtly shatter when the wick is burning. The recall notice says the candles come in jars that can crack or break during use, posing laceration and burn risk. Target has so far received 19 reports of the jars breaking or cracking during use. And Sherry has another check of his Viper 6 Alert Day forecast. Stay with us.
Big selection and committed to quality customer service. This is a WJBF Live Viper 6 Alert.
Let's start off by looking at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview Cam over at Augusta Regional. We've got nothing but blue skies here, so beautiful blue skies and nice calm winds. So to start off the morning looking pretty good. So already at 70 degrees, again, winds are pretty much calm and light. Visibility not an issue here in Augusta. It was earlier, but now that fog has burned off and we are looking good here. However, that's not the case across the whole area. In fact, it's not showing up on our queries here, but we do have some dense fog in McCormick, Edgefield, Saluda up to Newberry County in South Carolina, down to about a quarter of a mile to a mile. So definitely keep that in mind if you're in that neck of the woods. But Aiken County, Barnwell, Allendale also limited as well. Sylvania, Swainsboro, so a lot of patchy fog out there thanks to that moisture yesterday. So keep that in mind as you head out this morning to add a little extra time to your commute and just be extra cautious for us. So satellite and radar in the upper levels looking good. So all clear all across our neck of the woods thanks to some ridging and high pressure to our south. So looking good there as far as moisture and clouds, but we've got the heat coming in. So looking at towards our west, we got temperatures in the 80s there in Texas and into Arkansas, and that heat is heading our way. So in the 70s right now, but warmer temps on the way. That was not the case for yesterday, so well below average with a high temperature of only 87 degrees, and we did pick up a little over a quarter inch of rain. So very nice Friday there for us. So despite all this rain we've been getting, for the most of us, we're looking good as far as drought conditions are concerned. But it looks like northern Saluda is getting picked on here, just a little sliver in that first level of drought there for us in Saluda. So hopefully we'll get some rain there for them so that they can join us all looking good there. So sunrise was at 6:48 this morning. Rain chances not looking too good for today, but for the year we are at a surplus at over 41 inches of rain. So today it is a Viper 6 alert day, but not for storms or excessive rain, but for excessive heat. So we are under a heat advisory from 10 a.m. till 8 p.m. tonight for the counties in Peach. So that's Wilkes County down to Emmanuel, kind of our western lying counties. But even if your area is not included in that advisory, that doesn't mean you're going to be spared from the heat. Still very, very hot, just not quite hitting that threshold to qualify for the advisory. So what are these heat advisories about, right? So we talk about it's not necessarily the heat, it's the humidity that gets you. So when you have low humidity, the air is drier, and when you sweat, you can evaporate that sweat, which cools you off. But when the humidity is high, the saturation levels in the air is very high as well. When you sweat, your sweat doesn't evaporate, so it stays on your skin, which makes you feel sticky and muggy and just makes it feel even warmer than it already is. So our air temps are warm enough, right? We don't need any help. But whenever that humidity is high, that's why we talk about that it's even more dangerous there for us. So what can you do to stay safe? Well, of course, staying indoors is the best place you want to be. Soak up that AC and just stay cool. But if you can't, you want to stay hydrated, avoid sugary beverages and alcohol, and of course check on your neighbors, the elderly, the children, and of course do not leave pets or children in locked cars in this heat. And if you do have to go outdoors, try to do it in the early part of the day or later in the evening when it is the cooler part of the day. But on a day like today, it's kind of hard to find that cooler part of the day because 10 o'clock we are already up to 82 degrees, but maxing out there in those upper 90s there for us with mostly clear skies, just a few passing clouds there for us. So showing that on that future cast, again, mostly sunny, just some clouds here and there throughout the afternoon. We're going to stay nice and dry and toasty throughout the day on your Saturday. In the evening, we'll keep an eye on this. There may be some pop-up storms here and there, but for the most part, I think we're going to stay nice and dry and just on the hot side. For your Saturday, 96 degrees, hot, a chance of those late storms, but overall I think it's going to be dry. And then for your Sunday, even warmer at 98. And unfortunately, there is no relief in sight as the next couple days even warmer for us, and that includes nighttime temperatures, no relief there. So in your 10-day forecast, it is a Viper 6 alert weekend. It's Saturday and Sunday, temperatures in those high 90s, with humidity values even warmer. That's your forecast, and we'll be right back.
Zaxby's.
And a summer camp for special needs folks gave a mother a chance to make what some would consider a miraculous recovery. Here's John Lee.
It's so fun.
At Henby Program Center, self-confidence is sky high.
Head over towards the...
Okay.
It's the place where you can put a hard hat on and go to work at Camp Boomerang. This is why Charlotte Hub keeps coming back.
I love climbing the tower.
And clearly, they've got spirit to spare. But at this day camp for neurotypical kids and those with diverse abilities, sometimes small victories are understated. This is Avi. His mom, Ada Miller, says Camp Boomerang meets special needs with a lot of heart.
Well, don't make me cry.
I found one. Another big pink one. How are you always finding them?
Ariella and Avi are twins.
You found purple? I love purple.
Both are on the autism spectrum.
Can you give me the purple?
My son is not verbal, and if he was, he would probably say the same. They count the days down for camp.
While the kids counted down, as a mother, Ada counted on this camp when the family needed it most.
I had a very rare double stroke almost 2 years ago, and I definitely am a miracle case.
The strokes affected both sides of the brain and left Ada temporarily paralyzed. Because of COVID restrictions, a nurse had to wheel her outside just so she could see her children. The summer camp gave the twins a place to go while their mom recovered.
The type of stroke that I had, I needed to rest. And if I wouldn't have had Camp Boomerang, I really don't know if I would have been able to physically get well as fast as I did.
The health scare was hard on Avi especially.
It was very traumatizing for him.
His vocabulary went from about 6 words to none. Now she longs for the one word she'd love to hear.
What word do you look forward to hearing again?
Mom.
Weather headlines on News Channel 6, brought to you by Jamie Casino Injury Attorneys. Children first.
Contact us today to apply.
Hi, Sherry.
That's it. You've got it. That summarizes the whole weekend. It's a 5 for 6 alert weekend for heat, and more heat.
Transferable credits with dual enrollment, a variety of degrees, and affordable tuition. With no out-of-state tuition, military obligation, or minimum test scores required, there has never been a better time to apply. Have your choice of 5 start dates per year. GMC, Augustus Community College. Contact us today to apply.
Hi, Sherry.
That's it. You've got it. That summarizes the whole weekend. It's a 5 for 6 alert weekend for heat, and more heat.
And we're back at 9. Come on back, you hear?